I'm going to attempt to recreate Apple's desktop homepage in 1 hour using Webflow. Why am I doing this? Well, I feel like I'm improving with my skills with using Webflow. However, I feel like I'm kind of slow. So this challenge is not just to test my Webflow chops, but also my speed and efficiency. And the stakes are high because if I'm able to complete this challenge, then I'm going to treat myself to a nice dinner at Juleps, an upscale Southern restaurant in Richmond, Virginia. But if I don't finish it, then I have to have 3-day-old taco surprise from Sunday. So let's get into it. Now, before we start, I will say I'm feeling a bit tired and need every advantage that I can get. So I'm going to down a shot of Magic Mind, which is a mental performance shot that helps you to feel focused, mentally clear, and productive. Magic Mind reached out asking if I would do a challenge, taking their mental performance shot every day for 7 days to see if it helps me be more productive. And I thought, why the hell not? So today is the 7th day, so let's down this shot. Here we go. Now, in all seriousness, this actually tastes quite good. It has just a hint of sweetness, which is my preference. The cool thing that I've noticed with using this is it does help me to focus, especially in the afternoon. So I used to occasionally drink energy drinks in the afternoon, which helped me to stay awake, but the energy was often erratic and I would crash 3 to 4 hours later. So Magic Mind gives me the alertness that I want, but without the crash, and it actually helps me focus. So I highly recommend it, and if you go to the link in the description below, you can use the code JANSLEY20, and you can use that code to save up to 48% off of your first subscription for the next 10 days. All right, let's recreate Apple's homepage. All right, so let's look at the Apple site first so that we know what we're getting our hands into here. Okay, so here it is. Let's refresh it. I can already tell you this animation is going to be a pain in the ass, so we'll figure it out. The rest of it, this doesn't look too bad. Neither does that. Just like a simple grid system here. Of course, I'm saying simple. Maybe it'll turn out not to be so simple. Okay, all that looks fine. Okay, this is where we're going to start getting into some dangerous territory for me, because I can already tell you that this is not something that you can do natively within Webflow, so I'm going to have to end up using Swiper, which I kind of had a feeling I was going to anyway, and lo and behold, oh, damn it all. So it's another slider here that slows down when you hover. I can already tell you the bulk of my time is going to be working on this. This is going to be a royal pain in the ass, for me at least. This, I mean, that should be easy, and the footer should be relatively easy-ish as well. So I did do some prep work because I wanted the timer to be about me working and not me prepping. So what does that look like? That means I use CSS Peeper to grab all of the assets within this web page. So I have all of those downloaded. I also have the colors taken from this website. All right. So I basically just took that and then I copied a Reloom style guide here. So this allows me to use FinSuite client first global classes. So I'm not going to be using any Reloom components because that's, well, that feels like cheating for this assignment. So I am going to build everything from scratch, but I do want to be able to use some of the FinSuite global classes for spacing and containers and things like that. So I do have that. So I have my project here. So you can see that it's just a blank home page. And then I have the colors added into the variables tab. And then I have all the assets loaded, separated by icons and images. And then I just have to, and then I also installed the SF Pro Apple font as well. And then the final thing that I did is I connected this Slater app to it because I'm likely going to need Swiper.js. So this allows me to use JavaScript to connect to Webflow. All right, so that is everything. And so now it's really just, I got my timer here. So there's going to be a lot of time lapses in this video, so you don't have to sit here for an entire hour. But if I run into obstacles, then I'll probably talk a little bit. But other than that, let's just get going and see if I can design this in an hour. Make sure I'm recording. Okay, let's go for it. An hour. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to update the style guide first with everything that I need. Now, one thing that I am doing to figure out some of the stylings is I'm using CSS Peeper to figure out like different paddings within the buttons, as well as just different text sizes. So just know that I'm going to be using that to kind of help along as well. All right, one thing that I am noticing is that usually I can use CSS Peeper to look at the font stylings for this, but for whatever reason, I can't seem to access it on here. So I'm sort of at a loss to what the headings are, but I do know that the letter spacing seems to be reduced, so I went ahead and did that. And yeah, other than that, I'm gonna have to kind of just guess at what these sizes are. So we'll keep going. All right, I think I have the style guide pretty much figured out. So now we are gonna work on, I'm just going to work on this just section by section. So we'll start with this notification here and just work our way down. My hands are sweating, almost 10 minutes in, and I have my doubts, but we're gonna see what happens here. All right, notification part done. God, I'm like sweating so much right now. Okay, I have so much doubt about this. All right, next, let's go to the nav bar. All right, I got the nav bar done. Now I gotta do I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do this with the animation. I'm gonna spend maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes trying to figure this out, and we'll go from there. All right, so the way that I'm thinking about doing this is making this relative, and then I'll have to just do a shit ton of absolute positioning, I guess, to do all this. I don't know. We'll try it. Shit. Okay, problem. So all of the assets are, I don't even know how they did the bubble stuff, because I thought I downloaded all the assets, but all I have are these speech bubble things. So it looks like I have to make my own. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. What does this look like? Shit. I mean, damn it. I'll figure it out. It may not look exactly like it, but at least the structure, maybe. All right, now I have to put, the one kind of weird thing that I discovered is the images for this section here. It's not just like this image this image doesn't have a transparent background. The image is actually like this entire thing. So I actually have to set a height of 629, which I found out using CSS Peeper. because then I can just set a background image of let's see, where's the of this, except I need it centered and cover there. Okay, cool. Now I can have it, and that works pretty well. I'm actually thinking the headings are semi-bold, so I'm going to go ahead and change those. Yeah, they're semi-bold. Also, the other thing that I realized is that there's no like H1 on this website, which is kind of weird. So I'm just making this an H2, but as of now, I don't really know what would be an H1 on here. So whatever, we're just going to roll with it. I also think the H2s are probably a little bit larger, so maybe they're more like 3.5. Yeah, that looks better, I think. All right, I think we got this section. Ideally, for the next section, we should be able to copy this and just change a few things. All right, that wasn't too bad. So that's pretty much just a copy of this. Let me just do a quick preview of what we got so far. This is a mess. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to this today. But so far, we're getting there. All right, looking at the next section, it looks like it's a grid. So let's see, we got 3 rows and 2 columns, so that's pretty much, I'm going to set this up as a grid, and I see there's a little bit of a gap there, which I think I looked, and that's going to be 12 pixels. All right, so let's get that going, and ideally once I get one of these done, then the rest of them should be pretty easy to do. This is going to really mess me up. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get to this in this video, but we'll try. All right, this is turning out to be, well, this section is actually pretty easy for the most part, but it's just a lot of, once you get one of them, it's not that bad. You can just kind of copy and paste, but yeah, I really don't think I'm going to be getting to the slider section, but I'm I'm going to give it my damnedest here, but I have a feeling I might not be treating myself to juleps tonight. All right, so vision, oh, see, this one's arranged bottom, so that's different. Shit. All right, problem, there's no white Apple logo, which is an issue, but I did see where there was this Apple Watch thing that's already pre-made, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use that. Okay. All right, I'm getting there. I have 2 more sections. Let's do the card. I at least want to finish this part. All right, let's take a quick look at this. Okay, this is still a mess. All right, that section looks good. That looks good. Not worrying about responsiveness. Grid looks good. And no way I'm gonna do this, so let's see if I can maybe hammer out a quick footer here. Ooh, this might be more complicated than I thought. All right, let's just try. All right, well, that's all I got, folks. So it looks like it's taco surprise tonight. Let's take a look at what we got here. This was a lot harder than I thought, and I am sweating all over. This is gross. I'm sweating so much right now. So let's see. I was able to get the alert. I was able to get the nav bar. This was a lost cause. So that looks kind of similar. All right, I got that. That looks pretty well the same. That looks pretty well the same. And then I have the grid, which is more, I mean, there's some very minute size differences between the two, but pretty much the same. And obviously couldn't get to that. And the footer, I tried as much as I could, but I couldn't quite get it. So this is a really tough project. I thought that I was going to get more done than this. I guess I'm slower than I thought, or maybe I'm not that slow, but it feels like I'm slow. I thought that I would have definitely gotten to I definitely thought I would have gotten to the sliders, and I thought I would have gotten pretty much everything. The only thing that I knew I wasn't going to be able to do was all the animations and stuff, but I thought I would at least get all the structure laid out, especially with all the prep work that I did. But just goes to show that, you know, Apple's website isn't necessarily that complex, except for this like weird header thing, which honestly, I had no idea how to do this shit anyway, but I was gonna give it a shot. If you want me to continue on with this and do a part 2 on how I do the rest of this, I can try, but I can't guarantee anything. This was definitely humbling to see how difficult it is to recreate Apple's website, especially in a short amount of time. And especially the pressure component of trying to do this for a video definitely made me fumble through a lot of things that I probably would have been more clear-headed about otherwise. But definitely good practice to do. I'm glad that I did it. But nonetheless, I will be eating some 3-day-old taco surprise tonight. That's okay. That's okay. If nothing else, it's motivation for me to keep getting better and improving, not only with my skill with design, but also just trying to become more efficient. This was really a cool test to see how fast that I can put something together. So definitely some things that I can work on, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see a part 2 on how I continue to build out the rest of this, just let me know in the comments. I know I didn't really talk a lot with my process, but I was really trying to just focus on just getting this thing done. But yeah, just let me know what you thought about this style of video, and subscribe if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.